Well, the night of Friday, September 26, 2025, that changed the lives for so many people who are living in Gila County. Residents describing a wall of water heading for their businesses and their homes. Take a look at this video here of all that water rushing in and then all of the aftermath. It was just wild to see. When the water subsided, 3 people were dead. Millions of dollars in damage was, just all over this area. And now, months later, that town is still recovering. Let's get to Justin Pizzera, who went here. He was in Gila County to see some of that recovery. He joins us now live in studio with more on how students are hoping they are never caught off guard again. This is just something residents there had never really seen before.
No, it was just shocking to see all of that water and then just the aftermath of it. It took a massive amount of effort to start that cleanup. And right in the middle of all of that cleanup, the students, they played a big part in responding to the devastation, but they're also unprepared. Now, months later, one of the big high schools, they're looking more like it used to, and students have a plan if there is a next time.
We recently took a trip back to Gila County to see how the Miami Unified School District was rebuilding after devastating and deadly flooding ripped through the small community. The September flash flood killed 3 people, causing more than $100 million in damage. $4 million of that was at this high school alone. Richard Ramos is the district superintendent.
When you started to get the calls that this isn't good, the school's damaged, what did you think and what did you do?
Well, I think that's where I'm best. Adversity seems to be like a time where I really step up to the plate. And so I thought to myself, we have to be resilient and we're going to get through this. And I also know that kids are pretty stable as well, and they're resilient.
It would take resiliency and patience to clean up and replace everything that was damaged. Hundreds of students would have to be shuffled around. 6 classrooms, the library, gym, cafeteria, auditorium, and offices, all damaged.
At one point, we had 300 volunteers here at this campus in order to help us shovel mud, clean out pathways, move all of our materials and books from the library to higher ground. And it took all of those hands to make it happen.
You are in a situation where there is crisis, and it's not just in one place, it's everywhere. And so if you don't come together, then what happens? What's the story that we're telling if everybody doesn't show up?
Shay Duryea is with School Connect, a Valley nonprofit that normally helps education leaders with professional development. But with the district devastated by flooding, they helped coordinate volunteers and getting things replaced. Although the district is coming back strong, the impact of the flooding isn't going anywhere anytime soon.
Everyone was freaking out. I was trying to stay relatively calm.
Jesse Severide is in the 8th grade and remembers very well the night the flooding ripped through town. Raging water cut him off from his family. Some of his classmates lost their home, but he also remembers how a tight-knit community showed up and helped each other.
It stood out to me that if I have any problem of any kind, that the community around me will not hesitate to help me with it.
With that same attitude, students have started their own response team, where if something like this happens again, they'd be better equipped to help. For now, they put up green sandbags around campus until the threat of rain is gone. But they also plan to take it a step further and create a student response team that'll be trained and ready to respond even better if there is a next time.
It goes hand in hand with what the adults do here on campus in order to prepare for emergencies. Now we'll have a support system with our kids.
I don't just want to be on the tail end of this. I want to do something else so that my community is prepared and organized, and we know as students that we can do something about it.
So incredible, Justin, to see them coming together. You know what that student was saying? I know my community won't hesitate to help me. I just feel like they're bonded for life.
Oh yeah, they went through so much together. And some of these students, they still had to go to school. They lost their homes.
Yeah.
It was just such a horrible event, but everybody was going through it at the same time.
As you were driving there, did it look like this was a place that had been through, just a crazy weather event like that? Was everything kind of cleaned up?
There's still signs that if you look for them, you can still see some signs that there was a flood. It doesn't look like it, certainly doesn't look like it did. But one thing that they're dealing with as well is just the funding to help everything.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Yeah, I mean, they're jumping in to help each other out here, and I know that they asked for federal assistance, and that was denied.
Yeah.
So how were they able to move forward from that?
Well, they were shocked.
Yeah.
I can tell you that, when I ask about that, because they were just so surprised that the government said, no, it's not necessary. And the one thing that the superintendent said is that you really have to be in town. You have to be in Miami and Globe to really feel what they felt and see that damage. So, but thankfully the school had other resources. They had insurance and things like that they could come in and fund it.
Well, and they had hope and coming together.
And I mean, if you don't have hope,
what do you have? So true. Justin Pizzera, thank you so much. That's incredible.